Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to show 11, year three. Speaking of real, we're back today. Hey, if you notice, we went a little bit old school with the intro, right? We went back to where on how we started with that 30-second boring countdown to the intro that was first started to us by Ovi Muniz. So good on that case. Just kind of figured why not go a little bit old school? Because I got Anna back with me.
Hey, I like
So
old school.
yeah, yeah. You know what? Old school is always good at times. Kind of get everything back together and going strong again. It's well, I think we did a show last week, didn't we? No, we didn't. We did it. We
No,
did
the
it the
week
week before.
before.
But hey, look at that. That's two shows in July.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I'm like, holy cow! Are we starting to get back into a groove? What's going on?
Yes, we
Hey,
are. And the only reason why we couldn't do it last week was because I had stuff to do for my mom, a lot of
of
homework.
course. Yeah, yeah. No,
But
hey, listen, life gets in the way. Life gets in the way, and trust me, I know. But it happens. I mean, I know that I have said that we're gonna have Jimmy from Biker Dog Adventures on. Hey, look, he had an emergency. He couldn't get to it. Shit happens, and he does want to reschedule for I believe next week. So we're gonna get back on the horse with him hopefully next week, and pretty much it kind of works out. But we'll get into that as to why it works out, in a little bit. But I did want to talk about the month of July. You know what? We're coming down to the end of the month, and I find it pretty funny how um how the month is, and on how everything is with this because do we know that in the month of July there's awareness for everything in the month. I mean, it's crazy how this is. I don't understand it. How we got to there's months, like I know always we've had Hispanic Heritage. I think in February or September. I don't remember. No, I think it's been in September. Then you have Black History Month in February. So that's always been around, since I was a kid. But now you have different things, and I'm gonna actually,
Disability Pride Month.
yeah, actually, I'm gonna share my screen here because I think it's gonna be better here. Entire
Yes,
screen.
probably.
Two. Bloop, bloop. So let's add our screen to the show. So here we go. You got Disability Pride Month. Um, I don't want to sound bad, but June was complete Pride Month. Why do you have another month for now? It's Disability Pride Month. What's the difference? One's disabled.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're exactly.
Okay. I like this one. Minority Mental Health Awareness Month, which is July 1st, and that's the whole month. Okay, so why? I believe that we do have
A
a
mental
mental
health
health
month.
month, right?
Right, we
I'm
do.
not sure when it is exactly, but we do have a mental health month. So again, now what? This
Why
is
do we
only
have to
for
have a
minorities.
minority one?
Why?
Only for
My thing is
minorities.
why is it segregated like that? To me that makes no sense whatsoever. So then you have plastic free July. I don't know what that means, to be honest. What is
Plastic free. You don't
plastic
use any
free
plastic.
July?
Okay, wait. Just to go back real quick. So, mental health awareness.
Uh huh. It's minority mental health awareness. I think Anna froze. Oh yes, she did. Anna is frozen. Anna, come back if you hear me. but hopefully we'll get her back going. So going back into this, you have Shark Week, which is a week long event, and I believe it's going on now. Okay, Anna. So going
Sorry
back to what
about
you were
that.
saying, yeah, you kind of froze on us.
I know. I was like, strike a pose.
Yes, you were. So as you were saying, you started with mental health awareness. To go back a little bit, Anna.
I'm here.
Yeah. So what were you trying to get with that?
Oh, that just they have regular mental health month in May, but then you have the minority one in July. So I agree with you.
Exactly my point.
Why are they segregating it? Mental health is mental health. It doesn't matter what color you are.
Correct. I don't understand as to why it has to be segregated now.
I
To
kind of like
me,
the Shark Week.
Shark Week is good. You
Don't they?
know,
Yeah, they have those movies about the sharks, don't they? The tornado
yeah.
or whatever.
Well, actually, I was watching TV. Was it today? I think it was today. And you see these divers that go into the water like that with the sharks there, and I was like, oh no,
Oh
no,
yeah,
no, no,
no,
no, no, no, no.
without any cages.
Yeah. So, Anna, can you please read the next line after Shark Week?
Hold on, I can't see it. Let me make my screen bigger. You know I'm getting old.
Malala Day. What is
Malala
Malala?
Day.
What is that?
Malala Day. Is it like Malanga?
That's what I thought for a minute there.
Let's look it up. Malala Day. What the hell is Malala?
Human right careers that is observed
What?
annually since 20, celebrates Malala Yousafzai's fight for girls' education. Okay,
Oh,
I could
okay.
understand that.
Honor Pakistani advocate Malana Yousafzai.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, I could get that. Hold on, I lost my July awareness. All right, here we go. Okay, so July 16th is Beloved Day. I guess you gotta love everybody.
What?
Yeah,
Valentine's? So they have to have.
yes,
Okay. Beloved Day is for people that wish they be loved.
I guess. Then you
That's
have
what that.
International Self Care Day. So is that only for the international people?
I think so.
World Heart Day is July 29th, and International Tiger Day. What's wrong with American tigers? See,
I
I
don't.
I don't understand any of this anymore. Let's see, July is the seventh month. Okay, so let's get out of there now. So July is the seventh month of the year and has 31 days, named in honor of Julius Caesar. It marks a summer continuation in the north and winter in the south. The period begins prolonged daylight in the northern hemisphere and longer darkness in the southern hemisphere. So that's what July is.
Okay. That self help day, I had to look it up. So on the 24th. So if it's International Self Help Day, then
Hmm.
everybody should be off on the 24th because it's for you to get better self care. Feel good 24/7. And it's been going on since 2019.
Hmm.
Treat yourself to better health.
Here,
Now
watch
that
this.
I wonder if gyms like give you discounts now too.
I don't know, but these are the awareness days. And come on, get out of there. Oops. So we have awareness days in July, right? Canada
Right?
Canada Day is July 1st. American Zoo Day is July 1st also. Independence from Meat Day is July 4th. Obviously, Independence Day is July 4th. National Koi Day is July 7th. Panic Attack Awareness Day is July 10th. National Kitty Day, Chronic Disease Day, World Population Day, Cheer Up the
Oh,
Lonely
wait, wait,
Day.
wait. Go back, go back. Crying disease day is a real day.
No,
I
no,
mean, is a real
chronic,
disease.
chronic,
Oh, chronic
chronic.
disease. Oh, I thought crying. I
Yes.
was gonna say because that's a real thing. My mom actually has that.
Then we know Malalalala Day,
Ma la la
okay?
la la la.
GIST Awareness Day, International Non, okay, this is out of control. International Non Binary People Day, Shark Awareness Day, World Chimpanzee Day.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I don't understand why we have World Orca Day, National, I can't even pronounce this one here, Lidimuruguma Day. You said, of
Okay.
course, International Drag Day, but don't they have a whole month of Pride? Isn't you? I don't understand why. Why do you have to have so many days? Okay, I mean, and the list just goes on and on and on and on. World Hepatitis Day.
I don't know what's wrong with my computer.
I don't know what's wrong with this world. Okay, that you have to make a day, a month for specific tenders. Or
I
specific.
want to declare National PMS Day.
I want to declare today National Frank Day. Fuck it.
Fuck it
I
day.
will,
Let's do let's
fuck it
let's
day.
try to declare fuck it day.
Let's
And
do fuck it day.
all day all you do is like fuck it. Fuck it,
Fuck
fuck
it.
it, fuck
Fuck
it.
it.
Fuck it.
You know what? Hey Joe, fuck it.
Exactly. Hey, yeah. I like
I
fuck it
just
day. Fuck it day should be 3 times or a whole
yeah.
week.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what you shouldn't say fuck it to, right? And that's fuck it to sharing the show. All right. I've
And
always
well,
said this, and I'm always going to continue saying this. You need to share this show with your friends, with your frenemies, with your enemies, with your loved ones, with the people you hate. I don't give a shit who you share it with. But share the show, get us out there. Listen, I think we're on pretty much every single platform there is out there. All right. Well, I want to get our numbers up. I want to get our show back to where we were. All right. It's a process, and we're
it
gonna get there.
is. And can't we
But
email you too? Email you things you want
yes,
us to talk about.
of course. I mean, our email is right here. Oh, I deleted it.
Well, that's not good.
No, no, no. But let's see. I will get that here right now. I don't realize that sometimes.
Or send us a message on Facebook.
Yeah, you can send me a message on Facebook. You can, I mean, even Instagram.
Yeah, give us some topics you want us to talk about, what you're interested in. Hey, and we'll do anything, right, Frank?
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of real podcast at gmail.com.
Ooh,
So,
even things you're afraid to talk about or find out or research on your own computer, we'll look it up.
for sure, that we could always do. Look, you know what? As a matter of fact, I'm going to have move this up here. Ta, 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 ta.
My hair's
I
functified
didn't put it
today.
right here. Yeah, it is. But the only day in July that I know that I could kind of relate with, and it's part of our show today, right? Is the what was it? Whose mental day was it?
Oh, wasn't it International Mental Day?
No, Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. Okay, that's what we're going to talk about.
So
Okay,
only us minorities are fucking crazy.
I guess so, but I mean, in this case, that's what we're going to play it. So, I want to start off by speaking mental health. Okay, what do you define mental health as? Do you define
Not
it
being
as
able to cope with life, um, rough making wrong decisions. I mean, mental health can be anywhere from depression, anxiety. People suffer, people get hives and sometimes don't even know that that's part of anxiety, you know? So mental health doesn't necessarily mean that you're crazy. It could just mean that you have like an imbalance or that you're struggling with something. It could be trauma. It's mostly trauma.
Well, a person's condition with regard to their psychological and mental well-being. That's what we're looking at.
Yeah. So things that trigger you.
I miss the America I grew up in. Um, I think a lot of people miss the America they grew up in. Facebook user, I'm gonna find out who you are, and I'm gonna refer to you as your name. But if you are on in one of the groups, I need you to go ahead and where the title of our show is, there's a link. You need to click it so we can see who you are. Or you could just identify yourself by your name and we'll be good to go. We'll get you there. You know.
But I have to agree with that comment. I miss the America that we grew up in. I wish my kids could experience things that we were able to experience as youngins. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, yeah, I think we all do. You know, I mean, the America we're growing into nowadays is not the same America that we grew in.
Exactly. Can't
You
play
know,
outside without being careful because of trafficking or drugs or, violence. And I mean, it's sad for these kids. That's why a lot of them turn to computers and video games.
not. I kind of disagree with that a little bit. I don't think they turn to computers or video games because that was actually a Christian that said that. Your
Christian,
son, yes.
my son, hey, baby.
I
Yes.
don't think kids or not kids, but people in general turn to video games and stuff like that because they can't be outside. I think because I know that video games have been around since we were kids,
Yeah, but we had the
and
opportunity to play outside and not have to really worry about being abducted or sex trafficked or.
okay, well, no, I mean, no, I disagree with your point on that part because check out Adam Walsh, 1984, he disappeared. He was taken from a
True.
Sears.
A
Okay,
public store.
taken from a public store. I think I think everything that we see nowadays has always been around. Okay, it just hasn't been exposed as much because they weren't able to. Now you have social media, okay, to move you around, to get you going. You get
Yeah,
information like that at the drop of a dime. So I mean, I think that our world has evolved, it has changed, and I think a lot of that plays into mental health.
I agree. I agree. Well, and now that I know that that's Christian and he's young, and I'm glad he got to experience living in a small town when he was younger like I did and the freedom to be able to play outside and things like that. So, I mean, it's a big difference living in a city compared to living in the country.
I mean, look, I played outside as a kid. I lived in the neighborhood and we played ball. We played ball until it got dark, and then we had to come in. I It's just one of those where nowadays just things have changed too much. And everything is out there, and everybody knows everything about anybody. I mean, I could find out anything about you, you
Online.
know,
I'm a good
online.
investigator too. I can find out how much your mortgage is and what your credit score is.
Right? You can.
Yep. It's Public
It
information, basically, if
is
you think about it.
it is public information. So that's part of the whole thing. And what I want to start getting into is this guy here, Travis King.
Oh, Travis King. This kind of hit me kind of close to home because he was actually being sent back to Fort Bliss, and that's where my son's at. Um, so, from what I understand, he joined the military in 2021. And then he was stationed in Korea, in South Korea. Um, he, in October,
Oh, we're losing Anna again. So basically, in October, he hold on. I gotta pull up the story. We lost Anna a minute. Anna, we lost you again.
it ranges from 46 to 50 days, different.
Hold
How about
on.
now?
Hey, I lost you. I lost you when you started at
Completely?
October. At October.
Okay, so in October of last year, he was sent to jail in South Korea for two charges of assault and causing damages to public property, one which being a police car. So he had a fine of $4,000 that he had to pay for the damages. Um, like I said, he was in South Korea. He was then supposed to be brought back to Fort Bliss on July 10th to face
To face charges. He was gonna come back home to Fort Bliss, and he was supposed to start the process of being right of military charges and being let go of the military.
correct.
Okay, but
Now, here's the thing.
apparently, go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. Um, well, no, go ahead. You go ahead.
So while he was going to the airport, he was escorted to I believe it was Incheon Airport. Okay, and they left him there.
No,
He
they didn't
joined
leave him there. They were only able to take him to.
right. They were only able to take him to the checkpoint. Past the checkpoint, no one else could go. So what happens is that he ends up and he
Customs.
left.
So the military was only. Yes, he left on his own
Correct. He left on his
from
own
the airport.
from the airport. He started. Well, where were we here with the story?
He
So
ended up
he
joining a tour.
correct.
But show that picture of him in that guided tour.
So this
He
is him
is.
right here. He's the only black guy there.
Oh, he's
Correct.
in the black shirt. Yes. Now they said when he got to a certain point that he was laughing when he ran away, hiding in between buildings.
This is a DMZ. This is where he was. Pretty much, this is where this picture was taken. Pretty much in this same area.
Correct.
I mean, this is obviously not with him when he left. The picture that we have there. This is
Right.
the most current picture that they have here, and this here is pretty much. Oh, this is a bad picture. All right, take this off. Can't see it. So
But
this was.
he's in
I'm sorry.
regular clothes. If he's going back to Fort Bliss, he has to travel back in his uniform.
I don't think he does. I don't know exactly. I'll have to ask my military buddies, but I don't think he had to because he's PCSing. Okay,
Oh.
so it's a little different. You're not going on a tour. You're not, I mean, I might be wrong. I'm not 100% sure on that, and I gotta check with my military buddies on that to see exactly what they say. But you know, what did his parents say? I mean, I to me, you gotta be nuts. You gotta have some type of issues
Well,
because
yeah,
to me, you gotta have some type of issues because how are you gonna go ahead and go into a communist country? You know, you're in a democratic you're in a free country. How why are you gonna go and jump the border and end up in a communist country where right now his family is suffering? Okay, his family is trying to get.
it said,
It said what?
okay, so his family, he has a 6 or 7 year old cousin that died in February. And according to his uncle, the mother's brother, he had said that he took it really hard and that he was starting to spiral. But my thing is, the altercation happened in October. I understand that you're really hurting because of the death of your young cousin, but he passed away in February.
Right,
And it
and
says
everything
that the
happened
mother,
prior.
right, but okay, but if he, it doesn't say when he was stationed in Korea, but it says that the mother visited him a few times to let him know about the cousin.
The mom visited him in Korea.
No, it doesn't say that it was in Korea. The uncle only said that his mom had visited him a few times and told her about, quote unquote, his my son. That was from the uncle that he reported.
Hmm.
So that's why, and that was in the U.S. Sun, where the uncle had declared this. Um, let's see. Here it is right here. In quotes, his mother came down on a few occasions to see, and she then talked to him and let him know what was going on with my son. Gates says so. That's the mother's brother. So he had been struggling up until the the actual escape, but it nowhere states like when she visited, where she visited, to get a better timeline of like
Right. Okay. Well,
when when all this happened.
you see, and I'm going to tell you what I see wrong with this. Let's. I mean, forget the story. I mean, not forget the story, but we already know what where he went. I'm okay, and there's two things. I got two things here, right? I'm okay with the U.S. not fighting to get him back. Okay, I'm okay. For some odd reason. Um, Now if he is suffering from mental illness, right?
Hmm.
Why is it if his mom knew about this and she knew that he was tumbling, there's other resources that she could go through, okay? There's other resources that she could go through his chain of command that will start looking at him closer. So that
Exactly. Now,
obviously didn't happen.
right now, here it says too. Gates, who described himself as a father figure, that's the uncle, to the soldier, said he began to act reckless and crazy once he found out that King Nazari was about to die. That's his cousin.
Okay. And I
I,
mean, I could
but
understand that. depending on how close they were. We're talking about a
Ex-
child, talking a grown
exactly.
adult. Okay, but I could understand that, and the fact that he's in Korea and he can't do anything is one thing. And this boils down to a conversation that you and I had yesterday, as a matter of fact, where the military itself will give you leeway, to come home for a death of a family member, right? But normally
Yes.
it's immediate family members. So that, if I'm not mistaken, unless the laws have changed or the rules have changed, your immediate family members, mother, father, brother, sister, grandmother, grandmother, if I'm not grandfather, grandfather, if I'm not mistaken. Normally for an uncle or a cousin or aunt, I don't believe they give you that time where you can just pick up and go. I mean, I'm gonna figure that within this day and age, anyway, some units are not gonna mind. If you tell them, hey, look, I had a family member pass away, I gotta go, I have leave time, let's go, and they put it on their leave, and they're probably able to go.
Right.
If they don't have leave, then I think that's where the problem comes.
Well,
But
this isn't the military. This is what I'm going to tell you right now. But when my Uncle Manny passed away, they weren't going to let me go when I worked at the credit union
mhm,
because they said that it was an uncle, it wasn't immediate family. But I told my manager, I have to go because this is my godfather. She explained to them the relationship, that it was my godfather, and they let me go. Of course, I had to bring back, proof that I went to the funeral, but you would think in this situation that if this is a father figure, the uncle is a father figure to him, and his son is like a brother, like you are to me, you know what I mean? You're my
mhm,
brother. If something, God forbid, happened to you, my ass would be there right away,
right,
whether I have time or not, because you're my brother. You're not just my cousin.
right.
So it seems like maybe he didn't know how to explain the situation. You know what I mean? Like I can see it from that
Probably.
point.
I mean, look, you got a lot of different angles here, right? You got the fact that he's a young soldier. Okay,
Very young,
so
23,
if he went in, well, it's not even that. We're talking about that he went into the service in 2020, correct?
2021.
2021. Okay, so that means that he did probably about 6 months, 6 to 8 months of basic training and AIT, right? His job training.
Right.
Let's just say that he went in January of 2021, just just for conversational sake, right? He
Actually,
went
I
in.
think that's what it was reported when he did go in
Okay,
January.
I'm not exactly sure, but let's say he started January 2021 basic training. So you're looking at he's going to get out of basic training and his job training and everything else probably by mid June, May, June, somewhere in that ballpark, right? So in 2021, Korea's a year tour. So he probably got to Korea maybe a year later, or maybe 6, 7 months later, right?
Okay.
Where he still doesn't understand, or maybe he does understand the exact chain of command and the exact stuff that needs to be done for him. Okay, or maybe look, or maybe
But
his NCO, or maybe his NCOs were shit and they were garbage.
you never know.
You know, so
There's a possibility for everything.
exactly. But it's all right. I mean, sorry, I just verbally answered a text
Oh,
that
okay.
I just got. Sorry, but it's one of those that who knows, and then with the mental state, you know, it happens, but
Yeah, because
his
I mean,
family,
you have to really be spiraling to make that decision to give up everything and go to a communist country, and they're going to they're going to keep you. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
What if they tortured torture the he did like he wasn't mentally thinking about the whole thing out. He
Well,
could have
that's
had a
why
mental breakdown.
he could have, but we don't know.
Exactly.
Now, I'm gonna tell you this much. We're gonna come over to this guy here. Actually, this guy. He's he was the Miami-Dade police head guy, commissioner, Alfredo Ramirez. I want to talk about this guy. A very beloved guy in the community. Okay,
Okay.
he did, has a family. This is his family. All right, very happy family. You know, on Sunday, try to commit suicide. Your top cop. Now,
Okay.
to go on to say the story of of what has been put out there. Apparently, he had a domestic dispute up in Tampa in a conference, in a sheriff conference. All right, with his wife. There are reports that, or someone called the cops saying that they saw him put his gun to his mouth.
We.
Okay, cops showed up to the hotel. Okay, they interviewed him. They interviewed his wife. They said that they did not feel threatened. The brandishing of the gun was denied, and
Mhm.
that she did not feel threatened, like her life was in danger. So they up and left, started driving back to Miami. He pulled over on the side of the road with the wife in the car and shot himself in the head.
Oh my goodness.
Now, he's expected to survive. He only shot his eye. I guess from my understanding is he did one of these, maybe the wife hit him and the gun went off and he shot himself in the eye. I
We
wasn't
do,
there, so I can't talk about that. I just know
right.
from a little bit of what I think happened, because let me tell you, he's lucky. The reports have been saying that he does not have any brain injuries. The report does say that he called his boss and he did resign, saying that he had made a big mistake.
Mhm.
What that mistake was, nobody knows. And I'm not even going to try. I'm not here to talk about the man's mistake. I know the family personally. I know him personally.
Oh
You
wow.
know, so they're good people. Shit happens in life. Shit happens with your family.
Mhm.
The one thing here is that you have to be in such a bad state of mind, okay, to want to take your life.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand it because I've never been there in a situation like that. Where I want to take my life. To me, I how do I put it? I value my life. Don't get me wrong. I'm not scared to die. If I die, I die. It is what it is. You know, but I'm not going to do something purposely to go ahead and kill myself. I
But
think,
when you get to a point when you start to spiral out of control to where it feels like that's the only option, it's very, very, very hard to be able to mentally come back from that. And I'm talking
well,
from personal
people,
experience.
right, but I think people need to also understand that they're not alone.
Yes, but the thing
Okay.
is that when you get to that place, okay, it's like this darkness that just covers you. This is the best way I can explain it from my own personal experience. It feels like this darkness is covering you, and no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try to do the right thing, like it just doesn't work. Like your mind is so powerful that like you can't see past anything else. It's clouded, you know what I mean? And that's the only option that helps you to stop thinking about all of the consequences. And feeling alone is a big part of it because you start to spiral because you're not in your right mind to think right. You know what I mean? Like with all the therapy that I've been through and everything, I know when I'm starting to spiral, but that's when I know that I can call you. I have other cousins I can call and say, "Hey, I'm going to that place." I can call my therapist, you know what I mean? And be like, "I'm spiraling."
Okay,
But
but that's this is the point I'm trying to say. People have to kind of understand where they're at and that they could reach out.
exactly.
Okay.
But here's my point that I'm trying to get to you is that if you don't have the tools or not given like that help to come back, then it's it's hard. Like you need the therapy.
Hmm.
You need to go through therapy in order to be able to understand why you're having these thoughts, that you're not alone and things like that, you know? And a lot of people
Absolutely.
think being checked into a hospital, oh, you're crazy. Oh no, estoy loca. Everybody's going to think I'm crazy. No, it's not. And when I went through my situation, my old manager, dear friend of mine, I told her I need help. And I told her what I thought about doing.
Hmm.
And she immediately took me to the hospital to get help. And I'm glad she did because she saved my life.
This is the number to dial: 988. I've I actually, and there's also a website, and it's pretty cool because let me share my screen again, and we'll go back to talking about the mental stabilities. But you have 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, right?
Right?
Pretty much, it gives you here. Anyone could be struggling with suicide. Find more specific resources below, and it gives you different types of resources. Black mental health, maternal mental health, youth, loss survivors, LGBTQ+, disasters, individuals with neurodivergency. I don't understand that.
Yeah, those are good resources once you know how to cope. But when you don't know how to cope and you're in that dark place, that's the furthest thing away from your mind. You know what I mean?
I understand, but the thing is that so what could we do? People need to kind of get somewhat educated in what they're doing,
Yes.
right? And then she
They
continues
don't
with,
see it.
especially when it's to the degree of considering ending their own life.
Yes.
Well, we need to figure something out then. People need to figure something out and what they could do with themselves, to get them out of it. I mean, next week, we're gonna go ahead and talk more about things, as far as recovery,
Coping,
coping and stuff.
knowing your
But
triggers and things like that. And you know what it is? Like you have to I mean, I value my life. That's why I asked for help.
mhm.
In my personal situation, I saw everything. It was like flashes of everything. You know what I mean? And why I asked for help was because There is no way I wanted my son and my mother to see me that way.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
couldn't leave that image. My son meant so much to me, still means so much to me, that I didn't want that to be his last memory of me.
Right.
And that's why I asked for help. So I think if I like I was starting to get to that point, but I wasn't at the point where this is the only thing I can do. I was still thinking rationally,
Mhm.
that I asked for help. So, but for somebody that can't see that something's wrong, it's hard to ask for help. It's hard to ask or to even be able to
Well,
admit
I mean,
I have a
I
problem.
I mean, look, going back to this comment here, or what is it, or to Elizabeth's comments, people that need help usually don't see they need help. I
Y-
get that, right? And then she's saying, especially when it's to the degree of considering and ending their own life. Now, this is the way I see it. If you are at that point where you feel that your life, okay, or where you want to end your life, that right there has to be the trigger alone to tell you, hey, I want, I need help.
Yeah,
Because if you want to
but the
end your
thing
life,
is,
if you want to end your life, that needs to be the trigger of, hey, I need help.
yes, but when you're in that deep, dark, black place, you're not thinking right.
You
That's
know,
I think if you haven't if you've never experienced that black place, like it's hard to understand. It's easy to say, well, it's like telling an alcoholic, well, just stop drinking. Just stop drinking. Just stop using drugs. Just stop having sex, for sex addicts. Just stop this, just stop that. Because you're not actually in that situation. You know what I mean?
someone in such a dark place actually sees the light in ending their life, making it better for those around them, etc.
Yes.
Possibly,
That's
yeah.
what they think. They think that their problems are such a burden that if they get rid of their self, that's the end of the problem. You're not thinking it all the way through. You're not playing the tape all the way through. You're not seeing that you're going to affect the people that love you as
Mhm.
much as as much as you did. You don't see that. That's why I thank God that I had those flashes, that I was able to see myself, the blood all over, my brains all over, and actually seeing my mom and my son come into the room finding me that way. Those were just flashes. Wow, I've never said all of that before, publicly, but
No, yeah. Well, I mean, look, how do I put it? I mean, I guess I can't really speak on that part of it because I've never had that issue. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
I'm I'm not gonna say that I don't suffer from mental illness because I think we all do to a certain degree.
right.
Okay, I know definitely that I have never thought about I'm gonna take my life. I want, you know, I might have said it in a heat of a moment of being pissed off, man, I want to fucking kill myself. You know, but I can tell you for, without a shadow of a doubt that I won't do it. You know, I like my life, I value my life, I have my kids, I got my granddaughter that I don't see much, but it's okay, you
Mhm,
know. But at the end of the day, I value my life. You know, the day that I die is the day that I die. Is the day that I have to die. That's, there's a date on our backs. You
right,
know, but I just don't comprehend that part of it. You
right,
know, the only way, and I think that the only way that I will ever, ever actually try to go through, ending my life, is if I know for a fact that I'm going to go to jail for the rest of my life, because I wouldn't want to put my family through the pain of seeing me in jail. You know, I think that would be the only way that I would ever in my life consider it, just for the simple fact that I wouldn't want them to see me in jail and suffer for me being in jail. They're going to suffer because I died. Don't get me
Hmm.
wrong, and the way I did it.
Which is a lot worse because at least in
It's
jail they'll get over it and they can go see you.
no. I see it the other way around. I see it as they're gonna suffer in the beginning and they're gonna get over it. Okay. Now seeing me in jail all the time, okay, you're not gonna get over that. You're always gonna be like, fuck, man. You
But
know,
they can still talk to you. They can still see you.
call it
Uh,
selfish. I don't know.
yeah, there we see totally.
There. I mean, to me, yeah, yeah. You can still see me. You can still touch me. I guess maybe. I don't know. Again, I've never been to jail, so I don't even know how that shit works either way. For all I know, they could see me in the back of a glass. You know, because again, for me to go to jail for the rest of my life means that I did something really, really bad. You
Yes, what
know,
did you do? Well, don't do it, dummy.
Obviously, but
Don't
it's just
spiral.
I.
Okay, well then take it this way. Let's look at this a different way. So if you did something that was going to put you in jail for life, wouldn't you think you're going out of control? You're spiraling out of control to get to that point.
Depending on what it is, depending on what it is.
Well, you're going to jail for life. If you're a
If
lifer,
I'm
it
going to
has to
jail
be
for life,
something serious.
obviously, okay, it has to be something that maybe I killed somebody. You
Okay,
know,
so if well, that's part of the thing too. When you go to therapy, they ask you, do you have feelings of hurting yourself? Do you have feelings of hurting others? That's part of mental illness as well.
of course it is.
So if
I'm not
you're
saying
getting
it's
to the
not.
point, right, okay, but here's my question to you. So if you get to the point that you feel like you're going to actually go kill somebody, what why wouldn't you go ask for help?
Because it has to be that individual or that person fucked with somebody in my family.
But you're still spiraling. Can you hear me?
I hear you in and out. I
Okay.
I get you. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I'm not spiraling. But what I'm saying is, at that point, I don't want the help. That's the difference.
Mm.
I know that I'm spiraling, right? I know that I should call someone for help and try to help me with these demons, because so and so did something to my family. So,
Okay, so that's similar to the dark place that a person that wants to end their own life is going through. They
I know I beg to differ, because I'm
how
not
is it
no.
different?
I beg to differ. I beg to differ on that, because I'm not hurting anybody else.
Yeah,
I'm
so
sorry.
why are
I'm
you
sorry.
gonna
I'm
go
sorry.
kill somebody?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm hurting. I'm not hurting myself.
No, but if you go to jail for prison when you get caught, you're gonna kill yourself.
No, I'm. It's right. I will kill myself,
Right.
because
But
I
you
don't want
killed
my family
somebody
to go through
else.
that. I wouldn't want my family to go through that. So to see me in jail all the time. So I probably would. Who knows? But
But we're going back to the you're still spiraling before you killed the person.
I disagree. I'm spiraling up to a certain point, because but I haven't lost control. I'm still in control.
Because you're killing the other person, you're in control.
Of course, because that's my choice. Because it's my choice.
Okay, but somebody that
Okay.
wants to commit suicide, it's their choice. So I want you to explain to me what the difference is. It's their choice.
Um, I honestly, I just find it as two different things. I find it differently because one is one is causing bodily harm to yourself.
And one causing bodily harm to somebody else that you're going to end up causing bodily harm to yourself.
Right. But how do I put it? I'm not out of control. I'm not out of control because it's what I'm choosing to do, okay, at that moment.
Okay, that's what, but when somebody is at that point that they choose to take their life, they're at that point. They're choosing to do it. They think they're not hurting anybody else, they're just hurting themselves.
That could be. That could be. But again, I can't. I'm not a doctor, people, and don't get us wrong. We don't pretend to
We're
be
both
doctors.
not doctors. We're not pretending to be doctors, but I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, but
I
mental
just
health is in different forms.
Yeah, no, there's different forms, and look, everybody has a little bit of crazy in them. Everybody has a little bit of mental health with them. Always, it doesn't matter who you are. I don't care. We all go through traumas in life. Okay, some go through them younger than others. Some go through them later in life than others.
And everybody deals with them different.
It's always good to speak to someone.
Yes. It doesn't it
Okay,
A lot of
it
people don't want to talk to professionals. Talk to somebody
of
you
course,
trust.
right. You don't always have to talk to a professional. Okay, you don't always have to talk to a professional. It's good to talk to a professional. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
very good.
You know, but it's not. It's okay. It's okay to have issues. It's okay to have thoughts. What's not okay is when you start acting on it. Okay, that is where everything goes to shits. You know, my question here is, how do you cope? Right? Think about that. How do you cope with mental health? How do you cope with stress? I could tell you from what I know because I heard this in an interview. This guy right here, Mr. Alfredo Ramirez, would do this: play
Yes.
guitar. He will play music. That is what he will do. And I know this because I heard this in an interview that he had. He's like, I cope with my stress, with my demons playing music. You know, hey, listen, some people might have to smoke weed to cope with their stuff. Go
Yeah.
for it. You
Sometimes
know,
I need to be alone.
right. I mean, look, next week, we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about how to cope with stress. What are certain things you do? What do you do? What do I do? You know, and then I'm also going to have, I was supposed to have him today. Okay. This guy here, where did I put his name here? Or did I only put his, yeah. Biker Dog Adventure, right? What is Biker Dog Adventures? Biker Dog Adventure is a guy that goes around and he rides his motorcycle with his dog. The dog is in a crate in the back of his motorcycle. All right, we were supposed to have him on today. He had an issue, but hey, hopefully next week we'll get him on. I mean, this topic we could talk about all day, every day, all the time. I mean,
Yes.
I've had plenty of shows on mental health and illnesses, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully, people you need to help, get 988 on the line. Give them a call. Give them a call before it's too late.
Or talk to somebody. And the person that you talk to, you have to make sure, one, that it's somebody that you trust and somebody that won't judge. And if you're going to be that person for somebody else, don't judge them. That's the last thing that they need, is to be judged.
Hmm.
They need to talk it out and listen. You know what I mean? Like actually hear themselves without judgment.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much how it needs to be. But anyways, listen, we've already been on for about an hour. Pretty good show, you know. Next week we'll talk about it. Just remember, you don't have to agree with what we're speaking, or you might agree with what we're speaking, but we are going to be speaking in real.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll catch up next week.
Bye, everybody. See you next week. Don't forget to tell your friends.
Thank you for watching. Speaking with You is brought to you by Clovercrest Media. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. You can listen to us wherever you get your podcast. See you next week.